Welcome, guys. All right. So the reason for this video is to kind of start my holistic wellness spiritual coaching. So what is a life coach really? So basically life coaching, the way I like to describe it is we live life, right? Life has its ups and downs. It's basically coaching to be able to get through the ups and downs. It could also mean that, let's just say there's a goal that you want to achieve and there's all these blockages that are keeping you from this goal. So again, those are our downs. And so what life coaching is helps you push through those and really helps you understand from a different perspective. Just because sometimes we do get stuck in our own ways and we feel stuck. Basically what it is, it's like changing our perceptions and being able to see it from a whole different side, being able to understand it and push through it so that way we can get to it. Because if you can see it, you can dream it, it's yours. You can absolutely have it, right? Now there's certain subjects that I prefer and I specialize in. So I definitely like to work with children and teenagers. A lot of it is because of our mental health. I like to focus on mental health. Also too, I focus on personal goals. I focus on spirituality. So finding a higher purpose and understanding what our higher self and our soul purpose is. So I definitely do focus a little bit more on that. As far as financial coaching, I'm sorry, I'd have to refer you out to somewhere different. It's not that I don't care about that stuff. It's just, or honestly, it's just not my expertise. A financial coach is probably better if you want to manifest money. Me, it's more about attracting the actual energy. And it's more about the energetic sense of it. So let's just say you want to be richer. To me, it's more the abundance, finding the abundance and finding the richness already in what you have and changing the perspective of what you find abundant or successful. Or so, because for a lot of people, it's actual money, and that's cool by all means, but that's just not my expertise. And I also do focus more on the soul growth, finding our spirituality, finding ourselves in as a higher being, focusing on getting closer to ourselves and coming back to ourselves, self-love, self-care. It's really all about being self-aware and being mindful of ourselves and, understanding that there is an issue. It's more about how can we get through this issue. And so I'm not a professional, I am not a doctor. So if by all means, a therapist is what you need to let go of certain emotions, trauma, by all means, that is what they're there for. They are amazing. There is trauma that does come up for my kind of sessions, but it's more about the self-awareness and what are you gonna do about it? So let's just say we do figure out that there is a trauma that you're trying to get through. Let's just say it's an inner child trauma. That's something that you experienced. You were abused in some way, right? The awareness is basically the medicine. So the fact that you're aware of that, now we have to do some work, right? So maybe at this time, it's kind of it's way too heavy for you to even touch it. Then absolutely, I recommend going to a therapist. Now, if you've been working on it, now it's more what are we going to do about it, right? So every time we get triggered or every time we get activated, we have to do something. We have to cope with it. We have to be able to live life through it, because we can't stay in this mental stuck mentality of I'm not going to do it because of this, this, and this, and that. It's then we're not going to ever get to our goals, right? And so the way I like to do it is I like to incorporate oracle readings and oracle cards. I like to incorporate more of the holistic side and the spiritual side. like cord cutting. It's all really about intention and bringing things back to to our self-awareness. And honestly, meditation is one of the best therapies you can have out there, especially for the mental health. And so, yeah, honestly, like I kind of want to show you in a sense what I do. I mean, I've done readings in the past where it's like tarot card readings, oracle card readings, which is great. I mean, I like to incorporate that as well in my life coaching sessions, just to kind of see what pops up. It's more of a guide, it's more of a tool. It's not necessarily so much that this is it, this is what it's telling you, this is all, this is set in stone. Absolutely not. We have the choice. That is the most amazing thing about life, is that we have a choice. We always have a choice, and we have free will. So it's all about our choice and what we want. And it all goes back to us. Everything around us, it all goes back to us, right? What do we want? What do we desire? And what can we do to achieve that? So for today, I'm just gonna pick one life oracle, intuitive life coaching oracle. So I just pick one, and then I'll do a self-care, just because, you know, we do need to care for ourselves and love ourselves, and a spirit animal. I always find spirit animal just so handy, because the way I think of a spirit animal is the traits that they have, is how can we incorporate those traits in our everyday life. And so to me, I think it's very beautiful. It's very symbolic, and wow, self-love, huh? Just what I said. Another part of it is, you know, I'm very, you know, anyways, it's not, okay. Self-love. You are learning that your capacity to love others is directly related to your ability to love yourself, right? What does that mean, right? What is self-love? Anything you give to the world is because it's reflected onto you, right? When we don't like someone, usually it's because we've either had to deal with someone like that, we're somehow related to, or not related, but relatable to that person, where we've been that person and we don't like it. Now, when we have so much love for ourselves, when we are working on ourselves, let's just say we're eating healthier, we are working our bodies, we are taking time to rest, we are finding time to be around people that we love, we are taking the time to do things that we love, like travel, like taking small little tiny trips with our significant other, being around our significant other, things that we love. And not necessarily means that, it could also mean just the simplest thing, cooking. When we make time to just cook and actually enjoy cooking a meal, that is self-love. You're giving yourself self-love. When you are able to take the time to cook a meal, and then you're able to present it to someone else, and they taste that food, and they're like, wow, this is really good food. Why? Because you put so much love into it. They can feel the love. And so you are learning that your capacity to love others is directly related to the ability to love yourself. Again, this is very basic, because I feel like, and that's another topic that we'll get into, but I really feel like our normal now, our society now has a lot to do with promoting self-love. By this, show yourself self-love. Take yourself on a date. Show yourself some love. Buy yourself some flowers. And yes, by all means, there's things where like we buy things for ourselves, and it shows that we love ourselves, but not a lot of people have that kind of money to continuously buy themselves things. Nor is it realistic either, because we have priorities, we have responsibilities to attend to, right? We have bills. And so what else can we do in order for us to give ourselves love, right? It's mostly because we are not taking the time for ourselves. We are doing everything else for everyone else. Are we really listening to ourselves? That's the real question. Do we listen to ourselves about what we actually need? For example, it's kind of like, I love sweets, right? So I want to treat myself because I love myself to ice cream. It's good to love sweets, but when it's continuously sweets every day, or you're doing something, you're just like, oh, I love sweets though. It's okay. I'm going to have this every day. Is that really loving yourself? Because would you do that to your children? Would you do that to the person you love? Like, oh, you love sweets? Here's all the sweets. Even though these sweets will cause you heart damage later, will cause you cardiovascular damage later, will ruin your everything later, it's okay. You love sweets, right? And so to me, self-love is actually how good are we treating ourselves? Now, this is where I kind of get conflicted about what society shows you what self-love is. There's a balance to everything, right? Of course, there's always a balance. It's about moderation. It's about, are we getting too much of this? We're getting too much of this. But it's okay to have some of this. It's fine. It's okay, right? There's a balance to everything. It's duality. And I think that is part of why I love this holistic life coaching, because nothing is ever really right or wrong. It's only wrong when it's too much of it, I feel. It's more of like, because self-love can turn into selfish. And like, there's no time for other people. All you have is time for yourself. And that can turn a little selfish because you're not connecting with others. And unfortunately, as humans, scientifically, we need things to connect to. Spiritually, we need to feel a connection, whether that be with other people, whether that be with a higher power. We need to feel connected to something. And I think that's a lot of us, especially as teenagers, we feel very disconnected from a lot of people because we feel very misunderstood. And so a lot of it is because we are lacking so much love, and we also don't understand what we need. And a lot of people like, okay, or when you're communicating with a partner, well, I don't know what you need. What do you need? I don't know. Because why don't you know? Because you're not taking the time and energy to really understand yourself. And to really understand ourselves, sometimes it's hard because we have to face our reality. We have to face truth. What does truth mean? Oh, maybe I haven't been eating well, and maybe I need to exercise. Maybe I've been overworking myself, and maybe I need to rest. Maybe I don't have a lot of friends because I'm very closed off. Maybe my heart is shut off because I don't trust people. It's like really being able to face yourself, because in order for you to face yourself, you have to see the harsh truth. And that's the only way you're going to understand your needs. That's the only way you're really going to be able to self-love yourself, because you really have to unravel everything. You really got to get to the root of the problem. And it's traumatic. It really is, because we don't want to go back in time, right? We don't want to go back to the place where we felt that again. And so what we do is we suppress the emotion of like, I'm never going to feel that ever again. But guess what? We're human. We are the most complex fucking emotional beings on this planet. We have emotions and we need to express those. And yeah, it doesn't mean we need to react with them, but we do need to express them in some way, whether that's crying, whether that's exercising through our sweat and our just like, oh, I gotta fucking just let it out, right? Anger, through our music. We have to be able to express it in some way. We also need to learn to cope with it and give ourselves that love that we've been needing for so long. All that love that we need from other people. Pay attention to me. It's about me. Like, it's because you're not giving it to yourself. And so it has a lot to do with like really trying to get to the bottom of it. And so if, let's just say this is something that you're lacking in your life, self-love, we get to the root of those problems and we try to figure out what is it that you need. And I'm not here to figure out your problems. I'm here to help you figure out your own problems. Because I'm not, as a healer, and this is what I mean, like a lot of people in the spiritual community would call themselves healers. Like they're there to fix you. I can give you everything. No, I'm sorry. I don't want to break your heart, and I don't want to give you false information, because that's not what a true healer is. A true healer is there to help guide you, to help love yourself and heal yourself, and be able to help you find your own strength, because you have it within yourself. You don't need other people for that. And so you just probably need the guidance for it. And that's basically what it is. So yeah, we need to work on self-love. Today, what can we do? What can we do to work on self-love? What can we do, even if it is 10 minutes, 15 minutes, what can you do for yourself that does not need to involve money? That's the challenge. What if we don't need to buy anything? How can we incorporate self-love? So I'm gonna see what it says on the actual book. I like to read information. It says, of course, the life coaching question is, how can you show yourself more love? What do you need to change about how you treat yourself? How have you been treating yourself? Think about yourself as a little child. Let's just say this little child, which is you, comes up to you and says, and is crying, stressed out, feels like they're about to just give up on life. This child comes to you and it's your version of you. And they basically tell you I don't know how much I can do this. I don't know how much longer I can do this. What does that child need? What does that child need to feel? Number one, I feel they need to feel safe, right? They need to feel safe to be able to trust you, right? And what is the need of the child? They're crying. It's like we secretly cry. Maybe not show it all the time, but we're secretly crying, asking for help. Whether that's praying to God. We're asking for help. We're asking to give us a miracle about something, right? And so what does this child really need? How are you treating this child? Are you beating this child up because they need to make more money? Make more money. So you're beating the child up instead of resting, giving the care that it needs, to be able to work more consistently and more with more stability. What are you treating? How are you treating yourself? Really think about that. How are you treating yourself? How you would be treating other people? Why aren't you treating yourself that way? If you're willing to go out of your way for love, if you're willing to go out of your way to help a person, switch the positions and really think about that for yourself. Are you willing to go out of your way for yourself? Okay, what does it say here? It says, at last. You are learning to love yourself. You are learning to trust yourself. And most important, you are learning that your capacity to love others is directly related to your self-love. Everything you think and feel about others will change when you learn to embrace and love yourself. You can never truly be happy and content until you do so. Let go of all your judgment towards yourself and learn to see the golden Buddha within. In your true essence, no matter what your life has been up to this point, you are a divine spark of light and love. No matter what you have been told about who you are merely a reflection of what you believe you are at this moment in time. This card comes to tell you that if you want to heal your relationships with other people, you have to start by healing the relationship with yourself. You're being asked to have compassion for where you are now and where you have been. Deliberately and purposely start to redefine your relationship with yourself. Be good to yourself. Be kind. Do nice things. Forgive yourself. And see the beauty in who you really are. It's time to love yourself unconditionally because you are beautiful and worthy of love. So what do you need to change about how you treat yourself, right? What do you need to do? And it's different for everyone. It really is different for everyone. We all have different needs in different phases of our lives, different cycles of our lives. It's not always going to be the same. Sometimes we have more priority for other things than we do for, I don't know, whatever it is. Whether that's like, you know what, I just don't have the time and energy for working out. Okay, let's focus on one thing at a time. What can we do to treat ourselves better? Whether that's eating a different lunch, eating a nice salad, wholesome meal instead of going out to eat. What is one thing we can do? And it's baby steps, because I feel like a lot of us that when we think of change, we think change has to automatically be tomorrow, and we have to just stop everything that we do tomorrow and that's it. Some people work like that. I know I work like that. I just have to make the decision of like, today is the fucking day, I'm gonna do it. I have to, there's no other way. I have to put myself in that mentality because change for me is harder to do. So I have to either go all in or not do it at all. And sometimes I learned that lesson of if I do go all in, honestly, I can back out real quick. I go either way. So I have to but my thing is being consistent with it. So for some people, it's just doing one baby step at a time, and eventually they'll kind of flow into it, right? I'm starting to feel better. Maybe I will go on a walk today, because you're starting to feel that energy. You're starting to feel that nourishment in your body. You're starting to get those good thoughts again. You're starting to be like, no, I feel good today. And when we consistently feel good and say that we feel good, we want to do more things that make us feel good. So it's like it's a chain. It's a reaction. It's continuous reaction to it. So for some, take it slow. Baby steps. That's fine. You know, that's fine as long as you're starting somewhere. For some, you need to go all in, and that's what's best for you. All right, what can we do? Self-care. For some, I had to get it out. Rest. A lot of us are lacking rest. You know who you are. You are really not giving yourself time to relax, to sleep. Sometimes we are so much in our heads, so much anxiety, so much, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? Instead of really focusing on the now, rest. And let me tell you, meditation is one of the best things you can do for yourself. A lot of people say, oh, meditation doesn't work for me. Because why? Because you expect it to work in one day. Do you expect to go to the gym and do a full body workout and expect to lose 10 pounds overnight? Do we expect to eat a salad and lose 10 pounds the next day? You know what I mean? It's a practice, spiritual practice. Why? Because we practice it every day. We give ourselves the time to practice. When we go to the gym, we give ourselves practice to go to the gym to work on our physical health, physical practice, right? How do we become better? By practicing it. So some of us need to practice resting, really resting, even if it is 10 minutes to go to your car and give yourself time to rest. Get out of the environment that you are putting yourself in. Give yourself time to get out of that. For some, go to sleep early. There's things that help us. And I'm not a physician, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not one of those, but I have done things that have help me, and that can help others because I've heard it helped others. Word of mouth is the best way to really understand something. And yes, all our bodies are different, so it may not work for you. You know how many supplements I've tried and it has not worked for me? The best 2 supplements that I recommend, and again, I'm not a doctor, and again, go to your doctor and say if that's okay for you, but these are natural. These are plants that we have on earth. And you can't tell me as a healer anything unnatural. I'm sorry, I will not ever recommend to take ZzzQuil. I'm never gonna recommend to take NyQuil. I'm never gonna recommend to take shitty ass medication made from chemicals. Okay, I am gonna always recommend to take natural things. And again, we can't expect for this natural vitamin or supplement to help us overnight. We have to practice it continuously, and we have to take it in order for it to help us every day. So I recommend ashwagandha, okay? And magnesium. Magnesium is the magnesium with the G, okay? It's a whole word. Magnesium. It's the best 2 things you can take 30 minutes before you sleep. And you will feel, you can literally feel it as your body winds down. What I like to focus on is mental health and nervous system. How do we relax our bodies? Can we stay relaxed the whole entire time? Even though chaos is happening all around us, how can we stay relaxed? So that is my recommendation, because I have tried it, because I know that it works for me. And I know that it works for other people. And I've heard amazing things. I will never recommend anything to steer you wrong. I am not selfish in that way. I'm a grown-ass adult that I want the world to be better. I want humanity to change. I want love and peace. And I also want structure. And I want freedom at the same time. It's duality. We cannot have one without the other. I'm sorry, but we need structure in our lives as well as freedom. We need both in order to sustain ourselves. So as much work that we're doing, we need as much rest. As much shitty items that we're eating, we need as much amazing foods that we need. It's the balance of it. It's the moderation. So some of us really do need rest. Whether that's taking a 20-minute nap, whether that's asking your family member, like, hey, can you watch my child for 30 minutes? 30 minutes, please, that I can take a short nap. I really need to get into deep sleep. I need this for myself. Really be vocal and express your needs. Rest as much as exercise that you're doing. You're never gonna go anywhere. You're never gonna get that body that you're looking for if you don't rest and allow your muscles to relax. Not your muscles, but allow your muscles to heal and grow. All right, a spiritual oracle deck spirit animal card. Let's see. Let's see what pops up. The owl spirit. Interesting. The owl spirit. I love the owl spirit. It's a very wise card. You see clearly now. Now, the owl spirit's all about wisdom. It's all about our higher self. It's all about being able to see things clearly. Now, what I'm getting is like a vision of like cluttered things all over. Every time we go out and do something, whether the thoughts, we get cluttered thoughts, cluttered emotions. We need the time and space to be able to clear everything out and see things clearly. For example, when we're first in love, right? We're so in love. We don't see the faults in people. We just think everything about them is the most amazing thing ever, right? And then what happens? You get to know someone, time goes off. The hormones that you get from love, from that love feeling goes away. And now what? The rose glasses come off. And what happens? you're like, I like starting to see you differently, right? You're starting to clearly see things for what they are. Now, this, to me, goes hand in hand with being able to change your perception. We're so always stuck in our ways and stuck in our cycles, stuck in how we've been doing things. And now you're getting an opportunity to change that. Whether you want to change it or not, things will continue to happen until you make a choice to see things clearly. The owl spirit is just really wise and really just like open yourself up to more. Really like allow yourself to know how worthy you are of so much more in life. You've been stuck in a very tiring cycle. You're getting drained more than you're getting energized. And it's that lack of self-love, because yes, you want to love others and you want to show others what kind of person you are. Like, if I show them this and if I show them that I'm like this, maybe they won't see that harm, that they won't see something negative within me, right? But we're sacrificing ourselves to a point where we're doing so much for others that we are lacking our own. So we're just lacking our own care. And now others are happy, but you're miserable, you're drained, you're stressed, you're choosing to stay there. And now I feel like there's this opportunity to choose to get out of that. This owl spirit is really, what do they do? Right? They're night owls, right? They're out at night, but they see everything. Why? Because they're able to turn their heads fucking 360 ways, man. 360 degrees, sorry. They're able to fully see a full circle. They're birds, they fly, they can see the bigger picture. When you're able to zoom out and see yourself, let's just say like as a movie or something that's playing out, and you can see yourself outside of yourself, you can see where it's like you're cheering for this person, like, come on. You're at the movie theaters and you're cheering for this person to have their happy ending. Oh, why'd you do that? Oh my God. Well, no wonder you're gonna go through this, because you chose that, right? It's like you need to cheer for yourself, and you need to make those decisions and see where it is that you're going wrong. And not necessarily wrong, okay? It's not that you're doing wrong, because you're doing everything you can. I know. But where is it benefiting you? Can we do something that benefits everyone, right? So let me read the oracle message spirit here. It says, the owl spirit arrives to remind you that the wisdom within you is informed by your keen senses and the wisdom within the consciousness we all share. Even in the darkest night, the owl sees clearly and is guided by every sense it has, including the first sense of intuition. Right now, your sensitivities are turbocharged and are receiving messages from all directions. I can't stand this enough, where the universe is always trying to talk to you, whether that be through numbers, frequencies, symbolism, because it's all mirroring back what you want. It's all mirroring back what you're thinking, right? And you're getting those messages, but like when we're so cluttered in the brain, we're so thinking about like, what, I have to do this next, I have to make sure I have to check in with that person, I have to make sure. What if one day you just decided to be done? What are other people gonna do without you? They have to learn to fend for themselves. They have to learn to survive without you. They have to live life too. You either are an enabler to them, or you're doing them good by removing yourself from the equation, because they gotta be dependent on themselves too. You can only carry so much, and you can only do so much. I'm sorry, but we're not God. We don't have all these powers to do all this. We're also human. We have to understand that we're human. And we can only carry so much. We are the vessels, and we are the ones that need to continuously fill ourselves up. That's the only way we're going to be able to push through anything. It says, the owl spirit reminds you to be wise and pay attention to what's between the lines. What is invisible to the naked eye? What cannot be heard with the ears, and what others may not be able to perceive? With all your senses aroused, you have much knowledge available to you. Clarity will come as you sit with all that you are sensing. Allow your intuition to guide you in understanding the whole and not just the parts, the bigger picture, right? Let your wisdom arise and let be your guide as you trust that the acuity of all your senses. Intuition is real and can provide the clarity you need to understand your situation right now. Okay? Are you feeling overwhelmed and overpowered by all that you are sensing? Are you highly sensitive right now and in information overload, feeling too much and taking it too much stimulation? The antidote for overwhelm is to become grounded and return to your safe nest so wisdom can offer clarity and guide you on managing the flow. Take a break. Take a break. To ground yourself in the reality of your everyday senses. Go for a walk in nature. Perhaps you can't stop to lie on the ground or hug a tree, or just stroll down the street beneath the soothing sky so that you can regroup and clear your energy field. What? Take yourself out of the situation. Take yourself out of the cycle. Your wisdom and ability to make sense of all you are feeling and experiencing will return as Owl Spirit reminds you of your need to clear this. Clear your mental state. Rest. What can you do today to give yourself more self-love? What can you do? I know what I can do. I can make myself a bomb-ass breakfast or lunch and really put love into it and enjoy it. I'm excited to do that today. I really am. I was excited to go to the gym because I went to the gym this morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. And guess what? 2 of my friends showed up and we did it. Even though we wanted to give up, even though some of us didn't even want to wake up, we did it because we made that choice that we need to change in some way. We also made the choice that if we don't continuously do it, then we're never going to get anywhere, right? We can't expect to do things overnight and just, miracles. And sometimes miracles do happen. I'm not going to lie. Believe in that too. But my job here is to help you understand where you need to show up for yourself, where your needs are, and where the love needs to be given, and that's within here. And you need to give yourself that back, okay? So let's clear that perception. Let's see the bigger picture. Rest, meditate, and give yourself some self-love, okay? All right. I'm glad. Thank you so much for joining. Honestly, I can't wait for the next episode. Thanks. Bye.